If you're currently not enjoying your apprenticeship, here's how you can turn that around. Does this sound familiar? You're physically and emotionally drained at the end of every workday. You're being consistently demoralized. You're motivated by fear and anxiety. Okay, I know I sound a bit depressing, but some of you are currently experiencing this right now, and I did when I first started my apprenticeship. So I'm going to give you some advice on how you can improve your situation and either thrive where you are or thrive elsewhere. G'day, my name's Corey. I'm a licensed electrician from Melbourne. So if you actually want to start improving your skills as a tradie, a shitty work environment is only going to hinder your progress. I know this sounds obvious, but a lot of apprentices don't realize they deserve better. So in order to improve your situation, I'm going to address any potential arguments in the comments. I'll point out the red flags of a shitty work environment. I know red flags is kind of an overused word at the moment, but I'm going to use it anyway. Change your perspective even when you're working with arseholes. And lastly, if you have to, get out while not quitting the trade. First of all, in order for you to become a good tradie or electrician or even any job that you're doing, you've got to be motivated by your values, not by fear and anxiety. I understand that you'll get a handful of apprentices who just genuinely don't want to be at work. They're on their phone, they don't listen to you. But in my personal experience, I've maybe worked with one apprentice who was like that. Most of the time, apprentices want to learn, they want to try hard, they want to improve their skills, and they want to be a good tradie at the end of the day. And the main thing that's stopping them are bosses and co-workers and other trades. That's not to dismiss the fact that the apprentice still has to want to be there and learn the trade and improve their skills and help out whoever they're working with. But if the electrician or whoever is in charge is just yelling at you and even bullying you, you're not going to get anywhere. That just tells me that the person running that job is doing a shit job. In terms of the argument that apprentices aren't working hard enough, I'd argue that it's harder to show patience to actually spend the time to teach your apprentices rather than just scream at them or get frustrated with them. I feel like that's the easy way out. Obviously, if you're a boss and you're under the pump and you don't have the time to teach your apprentices specific skills, there's still ways for you to get the work done without getting frustrated at the apprentice and for the apprentice to learn and help you out too. They can always just pass you tools, ask you questions. What I'm trying to say is, in my opinion, a good boss, a good foreman, a good manager or leader or anyone who's running a job will show patience, will teach their skills, will be open to questions, and will be able to run a job smoothly even when an apprentice doesn't have the skills quite yet. I've found that if you don't genuinely enjoy your job, you're really not going to improve at the end of the day. You're going to dread going to work and you're not going to want to learn. You're going to want to quit. So yeah, the argument that kids these days don't want to work hard, I completely disagree, and especially if you're clicking on this video, you do want to learn the trade, you do want to work hard, but you just don't want to be abused at the same time. I'm just trying to help apprentices become aware of sort of the shitty things that they don't actually have to put up with, while also helping them improve their skills as an electrician or as a tradie or whatever trade you're doing at the moment. And yeah, busting your ass every day at work is just going to lead to burnout, and to me that's counterproductive. Alright, let's look at the red flags to look out for. A lot of the shit that I had to put up as a first year apprentice, I've kind of blocked out of my mind. I don't know, maybe it's like a defensive mechanism, but I'll just sort of broadly go over my situation and see if you can relate to anything if you're not enjoying your apprenticeship. Second day as being a first year apprentice, I got yelled at by my new boss before I even started work because I didn't bring tools on the job. Now, granted, that was a really dumb and silly mistake by me. I should have definitely brought tools first day as an electrician. For some reason in my mind, I had like, oh, there's a tool allowance, so the boss is going to provide me tools. But yeah, please don't make that mistake. I've got a video on cheap tools for apprentices. Still, I don't think I deserved the grilling that I got that morning by my new boss. All while this A-grade electrician was just kind of awkwardly standing there watching the whole thing. After about 5 minutes of getting grilled at, he walked away and I was just sort of standing there awkwardly with the A-grade electrician. So yeah, I worked with that A-grade electrician for that day. The car ride was so awkward. I ended up working 14 hours that day with an electrician who honestly wasn't that good, and he was just stressed the entire time, and I was even more stressed. Getting yelled at on the second day, having a stressed, scared, fully qualified electrician, and working 14 hours on my second ever day is some pretty good red flags. And for the rest of that week, I was working in a hospital. I carpooled with the 4th year apprentice, and pretty much immediately the first time I was working with him, he was telling me how he wants to leave and that the boss is an arsehole, and yeah, there was a lot of gossiping in the company. Others would send Snapchat chats? What's it called? Snapchat? Do people use that app anymore? Others would send Snapchats of apprentices' work and like send it to the other electricians and go, look how shit this apprentice is. To them, it probably boosts their ego and they might find it funny, but I know what good banter looks like, and that's definitely not good banter. There's an argument that I forgot to mention, that in my specific trade, electricity is really dangerous. The apprentices can't be mucking around. You've got to yell at them. Well, yelling at them is going to put them more on edge and put them in a more dangerous situation. That kind of seems obvious to me, but I guess it doesn't seem obvious to arseholes. Some other crazy stories is one of the electricians, while he was an apprentice and working with the boss, he actually cut himself with an angle grinder, and it was really bad. Like, he had to go to the hospital, and the boss is like, oh, just toughen up. Come on, we've got work to do. I don't know why he stayed at that company, each to their own, I guess. I could have easily given up at that company and stopped my electrical trade altogether, but no, I wanted to do it. I had a goal to complete my 4-year apprenticeship and get that license. So towards the end of my first year as an apprentice, I started changing my mindset a bit, and that allowed me to eventually find a better job. It also allowed me to actually enjoy the trade, even though I was at a shit company. My first actionable step to give you guys is to start by changing your mindset. First of all, you're always going to be working with arseholes, with pricks, people with big egos, and some of these people may be good at what they do, and you can learn all the good practices from them while not allowing their frustration and anger get to you. And my advice would be, have thick skin. You have no control over someone else's behavior, over someone else's words and how they treat you, but you do have control over how you react to someone else. Obviously, if you're getting actually physically abused, get the fuck out of that company. You watching this video and sort of sticking this long into it really does tell me that you do care about improving yourself. At the end of the day, you can't change this person, so why let it get to you? So yeah, just changing your perspective is sort of the first step into improving your apprenticeship. If you're building up resentment and you just want to complain to your boss or yell at your boss, I really don't think that's the answer. You may feel like it's warranted for you to sort of yell back or whatever. At the end of the day, that's not going to help your situation. Improving your perspective is going to help fix your situation. I guess having responsibility for where you are at the moment is kind of the biggest relief and the biggest thing that's going to move you forward in life. So yeah, hopefully after that mind shift, you begin actually enjoying your apprenticeship a lot more now. But at the same time, if where you work is just really shit and you just want to get out of there, start job hunting while you've still got a job, because you don't want to quit while you don't have anything lined up. And that's what I did. I have made a video on how to find an apprenticeship, which the link will be in the description. And yeah, in that video, I have advice on how to get employed. So yeah, while you're still at your crappy company, job hunt, start by contacting people you know within the trade, see if anyone's hiring apprentices. I did a few different interviews while I was working at that company. And yeah, I landed a job. I gave my boss my 2 weeks notice. He was not happy. He actually wouldn't accept my 2 weeks notice, but then the very next day, the admin lady sent me an email saying, you know, here's your payout. And I actually didn't work for 2 more weeks. They kind of just paid me out the very next day. And then I had a month between when I started my next job. And I'm still at my next job. It's a much better company. And yeah, what I want to tell you guys is that you do deserve better if you genuinely want to become a good tradesperson. And there are good companies out there. So you don't have to put up with shit, because putting up with shit is just going to demotivate you entirely within the industry that you're working at, and that doesn't achieve anything. So yeah, your apprenticeship may suck right now, and if you have sort of any stories or If you just want to sort of vent, go ahead in the comments right below. I want to listen to all of your horror stories or just anything. God, that was a loud frog noise. And yeah, just to recap, take responsibility for your own situation, change your perspective, remember your values. You want to be motivated by your values of being a hard worker, wanting to learn, improving your skill. You don't want to be motivated by stress, fear, and anxiety. You're always eventually going to work with an arsehole or a prick, and you can't change them. So why let them make you feel like shit? Don't take it personally and just absorb the useful stuff that they've got to teach. And lastly, you deserve better. Don't quit, look for another job and have that lined up before you hand in your 2 weeks notice. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please chuck a like, please comment. If you have any ideas for more videos, comment them away. You can check out these other videos here and subscribe if you want 2 videos a week that are electrical related. And yeah, cheers.